Today, now the 16th day of March 2021. Within our today, we want to call it na table fighting corruption in Sierra Leone. Fighting corruption in parliament. Uda they lead the fight against corruption in Salone. Now the Anti-Corruption Commission. Inside November 2019, the Anti-Corruption say den yeri Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte and Parand Tarawali, one of the clerk of parliament, then go against each other. You want for know wetin I be talk that Sunday? No worry, you go refresh your mind back. Gigi Snow, yeah? But then we go against each other, claiming and counterclaim and counter allegation against, say, corruption in a parliament. Perception survey don't come, don't choose parliament for say now one of the most corrupt place them in the country. Parliamentarians they don't come and point finger per parliament say parliament is corrupt. They want them we get the charge for fight corruption in Salone, take on say den do yeri, so then they probe parliament proper one. Unfortunately, when they come out, where they don't done, since they left on a black and white, couple radio stations them don't host people them from various institutions them for can't talk about this. The TV stations them don't do their own work. So we self naya get for do we own. But like I said on Saturday, me been think say this was so high profile that I be feel to say the Anti-Corruption Commission for come out with a press conference so that media houses them can able for ask them question na the big room. Remember, wetin be happen with the 49,000 bags of rice. Then we do a press conference. Not so. Where then be indict, say then they indict the minister now of labor. Because na be high profile case. And I think say parliament case a high profile. Okay. I will just hold on there anyway. Let me go to waiting we learn from NACOVAC for today. The labs then be analyzed 502. 502 test them in the labs they analyze. Out of that 502 they say now one nine come out for be positive. And who said that one they come out? Inbound passengers. So they say now inbound passengers, one person who fly go inside Salone now be test positive for COVID-19. Okay. The cumulative confirmed positive cases now reach 3,939. The total number of people we don't lost their life in Salone now 79 because for the past 24 hours we no lost nobody. The one them we in isolation are 1,078. The one them we don't recover from coronavirus in the country, we get 2 within the past 24 hours, and then they don't carry now to 2,782. The one them we in quarantine are 70. The one them we don't discharge from quarantine are 14,586. Okay, let me check within the Mano River Union countries then can with. Salone 1. Guinea, not sure face back today. Similarities to waiting we get yesterday. So make I just cross check. Yeah. So waiting we get yesterday and waiting we get today. Because remember yesterday Guinea not get nothing. Liberia back not get nothing. So let's see. Because it looks similar. That's go. That's so it be. So I go tell you say 2 days in a row, Guinea not get nothing. Just like yesterday, today back, Liberia not get nothing. But Ivory Coast say then go still they take the lead. Ivory Coast carry 255. Salone get 1, so we get a total number of 256 between Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast. 256 new cases they now get today. For the death, we get Sierra Leone 79, Guinea 103. Guinea don't get 1 person we add. Liberia 85, Ivory Coast 213. Ivory Coast don't get 2 people them we don't add. We don't give it 480 people them we don't lost na the Mano River Union countries. We pray say then soul rest in peace. Now to program proper. We have to take a little bit long now, yeah? Because we want maybe not to everybody be able to watch the interview na Radio Democracy between Mr. Amara from ACC and Honorable Tawa Conte. We go give the opportunity for watch them, yeah? But before that, you know how all this starts? I just want to refresh we mind. Waiting be happen that fateful day inside November 2019. 2019 inside November, this now waiting be happen. Let we listen, yeah?
In fact, in Parliament we got 2 types of travels.
Hollande. Dande na parantarally when at the clerk of Parliament. The previous day, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Bidongo na 98.1, where Bidongo make allegations against Parliament, the administration na Parliament. Bidongo make allegation against them. So Honorable Parantarali now, they na Parliament, na they na 98.1 for defend the administration na Parliament. Let me listen to Ramya. I beg.
You get statutory and non-statutory travels. Non-statutory travels are the one that we not get name. Like conference, you say just go car. We spend only about 5% of the budget on that. And I want to assure the people of Sierra Leone, say Honorable Tawa Conte for non-statutory travels don't travel past every MP in the Parliament.
But
waiting at the issue.
Quickly, some of the issues there, so where Honorable Tawa they raise now as a concern to the public. I remember during your own term, where Yusuf na be member of Parliament. Now some of the issues there, Yusuf be the champion.
No, Khadija, you missed the point.
Wait.
Are the champion things where I get evidence about?
Paran, hold on and make me point. I remember where you na be MP. Now some of the issues there, so you be they give so much issues with the leadership by then say they're supposed to be accountable to owner as members of Parliament. So if now you don't then at the other end as administrator, if a member of Parliament they raise some of the issues there, according to you, you don't understand. You don't try for create any dialogue between you and Honorable Tawa?
Of course, almost every month I'll create dialogue between me and the MPs. I know the goal MP in years for can listen to me. You will feel say you're not MP, you are representing people well. You always go carry listen to the right thing and tell the people the right thing. But let me tell you, Tawa was blue-eyed boy of the leader. They fell out because Tawa said they don't make a chairman of committee. They don't make the 2 other SLPP MPs where they all 3 come off later by then. Chairman, they don't make a chairman. So he has an issue with that. Tawa say, I have not allowed him to travel. He has an issue with that. And they are sure that Tawa don't raise 5 issues of accountability in Parliament. They don't prove her wrong 5 times. And they are sure that equally Tawa didn't incite MPs against administration. They like today the MPs don't know the issue. I will prove them by WhatsApp. Say the MPs don't fall on them and say make ever incite them against administration because he is not saying the right thing. He's not being truthful with them. And this not the same Tawa when he raised up issue against Parliament and the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance came and the truth was revealed. Tawa came back to me apologizing. This is the Tawa who is just too personal and he will continue for be personal. One in colleague, they were all with the Parliament now. They were all in the bank. A colleague personally come to me and say, my brother, be patient. I want to marry get bad at.
Continue for the Parliament. Honorable Parent.
Okay, into you know to so. That's now waiting Honorable Parantarali say. So then tell and say, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa, na possible get by that. Now I'll dwell now. This I be just want for refresh we mind. I just want for refresh we mind. Waiting be happen before anti-corruption say then they step in. Yeah. Okay. Now, Radio Democracy be get opportunity for bring Honorable Tawa on the phone for interview him, so that at that time, Honorable Parantarali served them at the studio. Now so the things be happen. Yeah.
We get Honorable Tawa Conte, we na the member of Parliament for constituency 132 na Lumley and some other area them In a one party member of parliament them we don't raise concern but accountability and transparency under Honorable Parantarawali in leadership as the Clerk of Parliament. Good morning, Honorable Tawa Conte, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Sierra Leone.
Yesterday, you raised an issue we get for do with corruption, alleged corruption, and issues of transparency under the administration of Honorable Parantarawali as Clerk of Parliament. This morning, we get an IASO for talk on other issues them and he respond to some of them things then they. But according to the issue we get with na personal issues.
Khadija, let's start by stating some numbers then, because I don't get all the time in the world for maybe you have to somebody think the way the clerk don't say. In the first place, the Parliament of Sierra Leone for the entirety of 2018, no parliamentary committee not perform oversight. And hello?
I get you, sir.
Yeah, for the entire 2018, no parliamentary committee not ever perform any oversight. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Finance make available to Parliament a budgetary allocation of 14.2 billion. In that 14.2 billion, the Ministry of Finance make two disbursements. They make disbursement in Q3 July of 2.4 billion. They make disbursement in Q3 of August of 2.275 billion, where the total come up to 4.8 billion. In that 4.8 billion, the reports where the clerk, they claim say they prepare the quarterly reports to the Parliamentary Service Commission, PSC. In fact, the first report where they do, not a quarterly report, but half-yearly reports where they do between January to June, from the 1st of January to the 30th of June 2019. And in that report, I have a copy of it. It says Parliament owe 1.9 billion in arrears. Of the 1.9 billion Parliament owe in arrears, of the disbursements where they paid the 2018 budget of 14 billion, the Ministry of Finance later in January and February then disbursed another 4.8 billion to Parliament. We're supposed for don't take care of all the parliamentary arrears, and assuming that the debts now be 1.9, it means to say Parliament for the day in credit of 2.9 billion. And the entire parliamentary allocation for oversight for 2018 might be 463 million. But no committee not perform oversight. But the clerk will tell you, say, Honorable Tarage Badas, because now alone, anybody when they ask for probity and accountability, especially when somebody they do the wrong thing, the other people they don't want for libele, who think say their own partner for just libele and get their own way, then we'll go and conversate say this person get Badas. But what you meet in a parliament for? Now for the people of Sierra Leone. Now, for 2019, the 2019 budget, all other charges, the total other charges now 6.8 billion. It also makes reference to the fact that at the day where the Public Accounts Committee, the Parliament, they ask the Ministry of Finance for can do presentations. Unfortunately, the clerk not tell them say the presentation the Ministry of Finance do and what the Public Accounts Committee do. Now they just a sham because now the committee process where they just give the disbursement, the revenue what the Parliament don't receive. But
Honorable Tawa, quickly, Honorable Paran make mention say some of the issues there are all where you they outline so now. Now because most time you don't they approach Parliament then for sponsor you now overseas trip the way not gets for do with Parliament. So it not can agree. Now they all some of the issues there so come up. You don't get anything for do with the accountability issues them we don't outline so.
Okay, thank you very much, Khadija. One thing where I go want the clerk for do, maybe in an open forum, a radio station like this, now for long we sit down together, now we discuss some of the issues there. The first thing is that now Parliament, I never approach Parliament for travel. And throughout the parliamentary stay, from what during the Parliament, I don't travel to them. I travel go Qatar at the IPU, then I travel go Abuja, where the speaker, they invite the speaker for a climate change program in Abuja, Nigeria, last year, November. So I never approached Parliament for travel. And in 2019, let me give you another gist, Khadija. The Ministry of Finance don't disburse 11.5 billion for parliamentary activities. And the total disbursement of Ministry of Finance don't give to Parliament about 20.9 billion. So date now only about 5 committees don't go on oversight. Parliament, they spend a whopping amount on water where the parliamentary toilet, they're all distinct. You know, to see criticize the parliament every day. The seasonal parliament toilet them. So for me, asking for accountability, not for don't reduce the clerk to the point where they go talk till they will not get any correlation, not get any corroboration, not get any fact.
All right. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa-Conte, thank you very much. We clear some of the issues then there. We go look inside this issue proper one. Quickly, come back.
Okay. You don't understand, right? The first person we been talk, now Honorable Paran. But before Honorable Paran talk, now Honorable Tawa, we don't talk the previous day. Yeah? Then, now, you don't hear. Well, who side the bombshell they can now? Now you forget. What to make ACC say then step in? Yes? Honorable Tawa instill the allegations the way we make the previous day. Now I don't make back to Honorable Paran. So Honorable Paran don't feel one kind of way. Why for keep with you, Sabi? There we are here now, yeah?
Say from where they go to parliament, they not ever go oversight. But allocation day for parliamentary oversight.
You know, I don't tell you, in parliament you get very serious honorable members. They get not too serious honorable members. The very serious honorable members, they ask questions and get their facts right. The not too serious honorable members, they wallow in rumors and waiting and feel. And one such person are the Honorable Tawa-Conte. A very unfortunate, there are so many things we are not be able to discuss over radio, but I will discuss.
Yeah. ACC been the listen. The thing the way it not want discuss, but it look like if I say now for lose la no more now. What you they wait for? Lose them.
They say for 2019, government Ministry of Finance don't give you 20.9 billion. Me fumble then wrong. Then don't give you 25 billion. I don't tell you say not sabi figures. Not to 20, then don't give you 25 billion. And out of that 25 billion, 19 billion don't go direct to MPs. So members of parliament me fumble na Sierra Leone. Out of the 25 billion where government of Sierra Leone don't spend on parliament, direct payment to MPs na 19 billion. So when are members of parliament there, direct, including Honorable Tawa-Conte, every month government they give them fuel for their motor car when at 1.9 million per MP. Every quarter they give them 18 million where them for use for council when I make meetings where most of them not they use, including Honorable Tawa-Conte. Members of parliament, every quarter they are having monies we're supposed for Cantona. And out of the 25 billion, which are they saying at 20 billion, we not even know the figures, 19 billion of that now direct payment to members of parliament. In all kind of parliament in hand, it go directly to them. But then go charge them on parliament because the all man, when they say parliament, now both administration and members of parliament. So parliament, we have received so far this year 6 billion. Out of that 6 billion, we have used close to 60% of that on statutory travels. Statutory travels not to parent create them. Now with different presidents there, now they will go form treaties with other international bodies, and therefore the Parliament of Sierra Leone is a member of 5 different parliaments. And then 5 different parliaments here will they send parliamentarians for go sit there. So any tenant parliament they see will get right for support there. Tawa has an issue on all that. Tawa, you cannot travel if you're not in a statutory parliament. But I just want to make something clear. Make something clear. When they accuse you, defend yourself. If you not give me the opportunity, it's unjust. Agree. But just give me 2 minutes more. I will conclude just now. The issue of oversight with Tawa they talk about, a very unfortunate, I'd always tell her, when you want to be a good MP, like, I mean I've been very powerful MP, and they ask a lot of questions. Anywhere Assad, I get evidence to her. Tawa, if you don't Assad, bring evidence. Look, I get me a financial report now. This report is not secret, it's everywhere. Okay? I they left one for 98.1. Bit by bit, I spend the money when they give to parliament. It's in this. 98.1, the presenter to that today. You go to parliament, it then a notice board. Everywhere you go, it day. Honorable Tawa-Conte land for ask questions, so you go be a good MP. Honorable Tawa-Conte, parliament does sponsor a lot for make sure say people them comfortable, you know they carry money to them. Honorable Tawa
Alright,
Conte,
we'll come back to
Parliament
you.
gave you
Honorable Paran.
70 million leons
Honorable
for
Paran
for
Tawali.
Bill constituency office. Where is that office?
You hear, eh? How all the accusation they cannot also.
I no one talk.
Okay.
You no one talk, but you don't talk some. Okay? So now so the anti-corruption come inside this talk. This particular interview where you listen to so, it happened on the 22nd of November 2019. Alright? You hear where Honorable Tawakam waiting in talk. Then on the reactive side, you hear Honorable Paran, all the allegations now we don't make. Anti-corruption say then spring into action. They interview Honorable Tawa, they interview Honorable Paran, they interview all of that they supposed for interview na parliament and go to the financial secretary, then go all side them for go. It take them over 1 year, 3 months. Now it take them for do that interview day. Alright? Finally, then done. Even before then done, any side where then go, people then can ask and say, what thing they go on with this parliament investigation when they do? They say we are closing in. When we then closing out, they just put on a paper. Like I said, I get issue with that paper day. I feel say they're supposed to do and big like I can do no more. But anyway, something because the parliament. Okay. Now, all thing done. ACC pull their own press release. Honorable Tawa pull in press release. Then they all two be careful come it up now na 98.1. Then it means say we don't prove for be coward. That's now waiting Honorable Ibrahim Tawa don't tell we. I hope say you don't listen now. Because tonight we want for help Mr. Amara Quaver where it talk say no waiting really they go on. Why make the journalists them na Radio Democracy 98.1 they ascertain say people they not believe the ACC anymore or people then get doubt over the ACC. So when we open the phone line, there you go tell we the fight against corruption. Usai, you don't see the ACC right now. After we you don't listen to this. Let's just begin with that first. You go tell me that, then you go tell me what you think about this. Yeah? But I just want for make we recap small one. I don't want to go fast safe. Mr. Amara, the ending part. We it say we for glad for the work where they do. He say because if we forget diagnostic center, for instance, now due to this ACC administration, if we forget, me feel say if I say where we don't get, but if don't come now per all the money where they don't get that, it's not going to do with this, but now let them escape per me. If we forget diagnostic center, it just left to you interpret that one day. But me feel say for talk say when we don't build the diagnostic center done, all right. Honorable Tawa say ACC don't help for 3 foot the fight against corruption in the country. ACC now they're supposed to be the champion. ACC supposed to go inside parliament and make parliamentarians them feel uncomfortable. But however, ACC go inside parliament or ACC don't done, parliament tell ACC thank you. Then Mr. Amara say because they interview the Speaker of Parliament, me say they're not afraid the Speaker of Parliament because Honorable Tawa say this particular one, they afraid Parliament. He say because they interview the Speaker of Parliament mean to say they're not afraid them. Would that be the way then they interview him? Would that be no waiting be the discussion? Will that be know how the interview go? Yes, thank you. Call and come, you can say, bra. And you know, I'm not going to call you, but say this Tower boy, then they make, look, just, whose drink you want? Then get 'em, then talk fine, then keep company nice. So, who's I see say the party go? How na they do na parliament? They could have that kind of discussion. Then say na interview, then do. I know they say na so then do, but what if? Then they say, oh, no, go no more. There they go. But, Honorable Tawa still team up say, ACC don't help for 3 foot the fight against corruption na salon. Wetin do? He say because ACC freed parliament. Why make it talk so? He say because Bokutin them where ACC don't indict a lot of former people them, the previous administration. The thing them where ACC use for indict them. Now most of the thing them happen so na parliament. Then give you money, you go use them for wetin you not for use them for. But he say no, there is no threshold. We are talking about stopping corruption. We don't talk now for the longest say corruption is a systematic problem na Sierra Leone. Corruption na a systematic problem na Sierra Leone. Period. So we get the ACC and the new direction. The new direction for can stop that kind of a systematic way they do for do kind thing them for make. Papa God help we for expose corruption. But however, on this part, in belief say ACC them budge, them fail. Corruption dey na parliament is still team up at that word day. He say, Mr. Amara say, because Honorable Tawa still team up at that word day, he say, na the figment of your imagination. The figment of your imagination means say, na Honorable Tawa in your perception that one day. And in Sierra Leone, they don't blanket perception already. Perception means say no to true, not because you feel like kind way they mean to say not true. And it's talking about boku. You self here for say, na the figment of your imagination, na in your perception, it go to the extent say, na because parliament kind of sort of one kind way, because of how Honorable Tawa talk and say that the bully and they, na he make a one can take come upon ACC. ACC with all waiting and see na parliament. Yes, when you go through the press release, then get to 1 or 2 things them more than say then go recommend. But Honorable Tawa say the least we expect them for do now for waiting, now for ask them. For man up. Me, the least I expect the ACC for do now for ask the parliamentarian them will use the money like how they can make that deal. For me them pay back. Not so. Mr. Amara, then Quinsante forget me belly name. If you don't say, what's in your name again? Yeah. We get it in a salon, yeah? It's say the way out they do this, they don't put cold ice pan whistle blowing. Honorable Tawa say in blow whistle, anti-corruption guy say, you think say you go left behind? No, you self na suspect now. The whistleblower turn suspect. It can happen. That one day it can happen. But there was an instance to say Mr. Amara say, even if we be get for charge, Honorable Tawa all for be don't charge him. Not so. So is it because una want for charge the parliamentarians then to court? Na he make? But he say it that na for instance say if them be one for charge, Honorable Tawa self not for be left behind. Then for be charging safe. And Honorable Tawa, don't tell me. He say, he go continue for speak up against corruption. That's why for that apology, we don't make it clear. For say, no apology. All right. This, Mr. Amara, they tell we about systematic failures. The system them, right? I just want to make you pick up this higher. Honorable Tawa, Indo expose how in things say this click they run and everything. But Mr. Amara tell we say, he say, who that then a better position for determine what's in evidence. Because Honorable Tawa say, in get evidence, then we don't get there. But he say who that they for determine and who that they call. He call all the hierarchy them na parliament. Are these people not the same people aiding and abetting for make the system they fail continuously? The people them Mr. Amara, you not try, sir. You not try at all. For say the one the way they in a better position, and the one the way they in charge of finance, the one they these are the people where Honorable Tawa they talk say now they corrupt. But you say now them for determine who the waiting evidence be like. So that click there, it's still inside parliament. It did it. They ask and say, there you get protection, Honorable Tawa. Honorable Tawa say, no get protection, no. Now, Mr. Amara say, then they protect suspects. Because Honorable Tawa be don't turn suspects now. They need the protector. From whistleblowing to suspect. Yeah, we can see that. Because if there be one for charge, Honorable Tawa safe not for be left behind. Then for be charging safe. Yeah? Bokutin down. I don't know where to you pico. But like I said, we begin come with we panelists them. And where they come, there you go just tell we force yeah. Within a take against the fight against corruption at the country and how ACC perform. Unfortunately, this one, if I want, we can take a bet. We'll send the camera. Let we see how many people them, Sierra Leoneans them, we really know say ACC don't come out with them findings on this particular issue. I go bet say a lot of Sierra Leoneans them no say ACC don't come with them findings. Well, we go try. I think the discussion don't start, but I want to believe say mostly this discussion right now now social media idea, now online idea. Yes, you go say one or two radio stations them they listen and all this whatnot, but the conversation, trust me, not out on the streets of Freetown. This one, you know, did it. But if it be say the ACC be really make a press conference, then that attention, if we get a more past that black and white paper. Okay? That's not my own thoughts now. But for now, make we come with us friend, make we hear waiting na your take on this. Yes, us friend, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform, and thanks to Radio Democracy them interview, and thanks to you, sir, who compile all this, and thanks to all the listeners and viewers. And my own take regarding if the ACC don't succeed for the try for fight against corruption, I go say it's a bit questionable for the time being. I go take and say the law we then get as an onlooker me, who a layman to what they do. I go say the law we then get now the spider web law. Now only the small insects in the cage, the bigger ones are going through. So the enough perception there, I will just take them, then I continue from there. If you look at it, waiting actually they go on between Tawa and the ACC, you go look say now some kind of professionalism. In other words, we talk of the experience what people get from the institution versus constitutional law the way they go on. You see say the way where ACC they try for defend or try for bring out, let's say bring out their own issue, and they bring them out based on the knowledge and professionalism wouldn't get, because most of them are solicitors. They are arguing, they are lawmakers. I mean, people they defend the law and try for defend somebody when a complainant or a defendant. Either way, then they go to court for doing things. But then at this institution, then they use their professionalism for interpret the law towards waiting, then they take for let the one for do. Because Tawa, they say outright, all throughout this, where then they go between the ACC and then all the code section and the code constitution, the one way that the government own, they see the ACC, what then they do, then they interpret them to their own way. And there they bring we now to in other words, would they say that misrepresentation of the law at some extent, you go question, the law wouldn't get any represent them or then they misrepresent them. Or they represent them only for let them go based on waiting then they say. Because all along, Nai Tawa they try to bring to them, the incest, Nai they try to see. When I say that's what the section say, if they say no, Financial Management Act, that's what they say, procurement say no. Then they go with some other bylaws where they say so then get forget threshold. Then they talk about threshold, what thing you get for make will fit for let will convict somebody. But it can't be something doubtful because when you put professionalism and you left out the area where you go put and match together with waiting the law say in that your profession in terms of constitutional laws, you they see say the end product it will always be questionable. And when the end product is always questionable, you will bring now the incident of a whistleblower wherein they get a good intention for convey any concerns in good faith for say I get concerns about something where they go on, where not they go according to waiting the policy they say or waiting the law say. And waiting now they say they not for do, now in then they do. Or the practices and what they say or fraudulent, now in then they do. So if they see that now in the initial area where the whistleblowers will take them, they try to bring in your own area. In the try for see a transparency, now in therefore try put so that it go able for make things go before. Then the one then I will deal with when they go take them, it left to them how they go able for interpret this. Then go take them from forensics, then go take them depending on materials or what they get for them to present their own case. But with the type of constitution and the type of people who they deal with the constitution, you go question and say, what is now the applications they wouldn't use? Whose tools they wouldn't use? These tools are they sharp enough so that they will able for penetrate or waiting, or the tools they look blunt so that they're not going for penetrate. Then get just selected one. Then what did they say? And then why the allegation will take, or and then why we were able for say you get party A. When party A come, then go say this, and party B come, and this then go say. And then you stand in the middle now for know whose values and whose trust who will able to forget from all this. Because one, as then they always try for say, then they try to bring up say, now, then why I don't thief? Then him as the individual will responsible for this, waiting na in your purpose for let it go say, the man will got that strong sense of fairness. He say, me fair enough. I want for let people understand say now this thing I'm in mind, now this now they happen, now this now the wrong thing will happen, will the law not say, and then we take them in a different way. And then go put the person always when they bring them in there in a situation wherein he will say, instead of the advocate where they try for let he go talk say and the advocate say now this don't go wrong, waiting they happen now, then they try to put the person into a discrimination position, and then they always find let the person get a retaliation. Like waiting in the tower don't get the parliament. They get a reprisal now, then they try to take vengeance from her now. Waiting and they do. Then they put them behind for letting them catch the eye of the speaker. So those are the areas that we resist and they walk side by side. So when you see say your institution when are there for do anything there, now they will have to always put say we forget the body. And who's one at this body here? The body when I whistle blowing and complaints, how for handle that thing there, how we will get the policies of whistleblowers and the one day the complaints, how we will able to handle them. Because once you do that one day, the concerns that the people in the race will relate for say now then practice there will not for do them. Now that thing they able for help others them wait day tomorrow and then go able for come. They say whosoever will able for do whistle blowing. But it always this is the threshold where they put in terms of the law, then they interpret them. And when they interpret at a point, they see then they interpret them, they become fatigued. And I don't happen so because at some point they become fatigued, wherein you, the individual, will turn up there for argue for party B because of you they misrepresent the law at some point. You go see say you lost you focus at some point, and then you become continuous and repetitive. Because when you see the interview of the ACC man, when they accuse and say if they misrepresent the law or if disoriented, but as an onlooker, it becomes disoriented because they repeat things over and over. It explain them at a longer pace, so it convince you, so you will able to forget the fact for you want to portray. Because when the truth they and the fact they see the person what they do, it ejects that reaction they from recent one them. But again, the other thing where I want to point out here again, in terms of this constitution and this area of professionalism, you get again waiting actually you the see naive start up this but the way the mortal man for behave and when he behave back as a professional, you get the resentment the way any human being they say, okay, them they accuse and say, now because he get bad heart, now because why he get bad eye, they tell us this. Let's put that on one side. All right, you say that resentment in don't get. Then they are back don't get resentment, see this Maya. So then two things there, you see they can compile, then bring out a fact. Well, let's say the man get that act of immortal man because any human being is competitive, but it depends how they deal with that one day. But let it go show out to the public, say it no go affect the society, it no go affect what you're responsible for give to the society. So that one day, so when you see that resentment don't come, now you begin name calling because that resentment don't do the name calling come. But during this name calling, people then get for specify and see their fairness say and not be one for involved in this because when you see in the try for say some of the decision making, I was not involved in them. I was just a recipient. But because I received this, me no one for become greedy. I become like a Robin Hood, where I go take from the rich for can give the poor people them. Now for that, I give them the evidence, maybe they help these areas. But the area comes say, just like we in the try for say the one where they cannot be horrible and who are responsible. But that was what they try for show the people and say, it's not the money what we receive or what we not use, it's about the giving the money at the time. And then secondly, the other secondary issue, he points out again, okay, yes, the use of the money, how they misuse them in some other areas. Then. So then just for beginners, well, we categorize anything there, say now this thing, now this thing, now this thing. But all of the things that were then categorized, none of them they're not able to see. So if they said it is right for somebody to travel at this cost for for a flight, because those are all the findings them. Then we say, all right, this price is okay. So the finding is there. And now when they say then they try to bring tools for advice. They don't tool what they bring, they say then they use a tool for advice. Now for that you see the ACC man or whoever go and the president, he go offline, he go try to sensitize people and say no, what about controlling it in the parliament instead of telling the people out when the fact they're not even recipient, they are just onlookers where basically they only receive the service provided if they before don't bring the service to them. So those are the things which are what they try for bring. And they bring up this for say the lights were at the try for bring una use this. Una get for amplify them to the way una busy una will amplify let people they not only those who are weak, those who cannot talk, those who cannot afford to stand there for themselves, now they know what the law will get for take. Then the other ones, then because of favoritism or because of other reasons, people then get for doubt. And the onlookers, they always need credibility. And the credibility what the public domain get for get, now where they get for say the law, they know they misinterpret them. And then because they know some the people they look a little disabled in understanding the constitution. So most of the time they come they say this, but they are saying it. People are learning, and then they in archive, and now people they get over issues. So gradually it losing taste and it outrun because it is not natural. It's like when you get solar power and a battery, it's different. The battery, they run out. And these are, they use knowledge, what they make for themselves, they keep and that now manufactured one. Instead of the natural one, for say, humanity, you have to come in and be fair. You therefore put laws then. If una see say this lawyer they give una difficulty in pursuing una job, that should be part of the recommendation. Say this lawyer, he always above me. Look, that's what I go now 98.1. And association thing be happen. Just like when I say this telephone call is recorded for training purposes, because then they go play and for know how you the customer and you the one who the advise how we have been did to us, then see the issue. So they go show to the one they will they train. We say when I see this kind of scenario, this is what you're going to avoid. So now this one for deal with. So these are the kind of things the government for the take. But they take like that scenario and say, look, that same way that here happen. Now 98.1, that man they argue up to AYV. And AYV in the ACC that will say, then they do for we a favor. We get for appreciate them. But again, now in the other way around, because Tawa, they try for say, and they ask about Tawa, in the try for say, you get gratitude and you get trust and value for the man. But how you go say that gratitude and trust is there for the man when actually that gratitude that you're not able to show him? So all this I try for say, now let people then try for redefine. Let them redefine. Let them stop to redefine, sorry, not to redefine. Let's stop redefining what's in the Constitution day. And let's stop for redefine certain things and let them put them. Now you redefine who are a whistleblower. You redefine this. You redefine this threshold for so the threshold for day. This is not what it is. It is meant that it is wrong. Let them try amend these things. Bring these scenarios to Parliament. Say now any difficulty there will be there. Instead of just go recommend, and when the recommendation day, you don't ever see effective because una know the follow up for say if they follow up. So these are the kind of things what I believe say the manifesto and flagship in the type of defender. Now for that it talk say in the tower, he not go give up because the manifesto it gets somebody with it support him because I manifesto and put. But because of the constitution and people who they get the duty for doing, then they misinterpret them. So but he say manifesto they work. But again, the constitution when they get inside the party, now you know the problem. So they know they protect them and then they expose them to harassment and vengeance. So these are the areas where you go for looking to. Because look at the African Development Bank, where they all they cry to the NGOs, and they get this kind of structure. They get the structures in place where they then get that complaint and handling of policies and how they go able to understand the minds of whistleblower and how they will protect them. Because what they say that it's not possible to say that for change from whistleblower to a suspect, but the idea is how you go deal with it. Therefore, categorize types of whistleblowers because this is not a delicate area where it is. Now, in one day and they try for let the system balance, so they pull in your side, but others are not there for let the thing go equate. Now, for they say the force is still balancing on the other side, then they get people that will be able to help them to protect them. So the message, they go. When the message they go, it try for pass on, but yes, still the suppression day. Because the system, balance in that constitution of whistleblower, because other institutions, they get this kind of thing, then get them, but then they use them in another form of refusal you. But I only hope say God will able to make people then go get their civil rights, because the civil rights are the way we then pursue them. But the innocency of that misinterpretation of the law, now a law, now a crime, negligence of misrepresentation of the law, now crime. So even sometimes, then the lawyer then says, once they misinterpret the law, but only hopes they will take forward and make system go able to work out. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. And let God continue for help you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. God
yes, sir.
You.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Make we come with Doctor. Make we hear waiting in get for we today. Yes, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo, you get the platform, ma.
Yes, hi. Good evening, everyone, and good morning to many others. We hope say everybody to do well. And thanks to you, thanks to us friend, and thanks to 98.1 and all the one that we partake in that long discussion, and which I feel say will be just sit down at a hearing, because there were so many things that we talk about where it makes you wonder waiting we question we country they turn into? Waiting with country really they turn into? Are we really ready to end everything that is happening? That was a big question throughout as the conversation they go on, and you question which am your take on this particular one. That's done in one side of my own take, and the second one part of my own take, AAA, now a disgrace. Now we country where they talk about fighting corruption, and this type of investigation we don't go, and then you will not find no other way for make the public really know exactly what thing they go on, how this thing end up, and yet una call them systemic problem. We need fixing, right? But una want bring una prevention into this. It's too late. Once you don't be diagnosed with a problem, you cannot prevent it again. What you will need to do is to treat it. I think now the problem that they fail for realize now we country say the corruption is there. So it's been diagnosed just like cancer. Not to a one way you go do a screening for find out, or go do a mammography, or go do a PSA, a blood test for find out if you get prostate cancer or you get breast cancer. So at this point, the biopsy is already done, right? So I try for use this analogy for how we really understand the significance of the problem, where it seems like even the one them way for fight corruption in our country, not taken serious, not ready for fight them, and not ready for really pick the truth out of the problem and say, hey, now this problem we get, and now this treatment we need for use for treat this particular problem here. It's just like this corruption thing. Because for me, I not just want even stick with one side, about how, initially the conversation started, where the clerk when they talk about, they get serious parliamentarians them and not serious parliamentarians them. That was my first question. Oh my God, waiting we ready for NASU, and begin they do like some form of boxing as they were talking. To me, a disgrace, Tripoli. Now, disgrace, and I know Sierra Leoneans that we get people them, we no one really see that we get a huge problem in this country. We need immediate intervention for how we really end the suffering in our country, And the way the discussion will go on, I just can't imagine people keep going on like that. And the one way try for represent the ACC, they mention something saying they're not there for please certain individuals. You don't need to please one individual. But if you get a specific person where they come about, where they really point out things them, for give you the urge, for go in there and find out, see, there is a problem and this problem needs to be fixed. And you really find out, see, there's issues with accountability, and you still let's say that same issue with accountability can lead to corruption. What are you thinking? You think you're talking to people that are not educated in the country, or you think you're talking to Sierra Leoneans that don't know A from B? I think he just didn't help the situation. He did not. And as it is, this cancer, it don't eat up more than one organ. Yeah? AAA is like when you have a colon cancer. This colon cancer was diagnosed at a late stage, looking at a stage 3. That cancer did not only stop at the colon, it actually took up the liver too. And it didn't stop there. It took up the breast. The reason I'm putting all these things here, that's what's happening in our parliament. And then these people are really not helping the people of Sierra Leone. And yet, they want to come here and make us feel like they're doing something. Oh, just like you didn't say, maybe that's what's happened. They just did the conversation just for make them say, maybe. No one is saying that they did not do their work. But when they did it, when they do that job, God knows they're not doing for satisfy the people of Sierra Leone. They're doing for no more, for let them say, we don't pull bad name per ourselves. Let them not say no more, we not work. ACC and the entire Scorpion squad, if una want fight corruption, una fight with the integrity where it deserves, with the honesty where it deserves, and not be partial. I don't talk this, and I'm sure many people have said the same thing. Fight corruption, as a neutral person. Know that who that they do wrong, you don't say, oh, it's because now the entire parliament, then they do something way wrong here. If we go say just now, they go begin the arrest and we take things in a court, we will go look stupid, we'll not go win because there's going to be too many people. That is so shameful. It is so, so shameful. But with the hope, say, the Honorable Tower, I'm sure the verdict or the press release or the conclusion, as he said, they give people like that cold heart to speak up, because that's what this corruption is trying, or this type of corruption that's happening in our country is trying to do right now. So the one that way will talk, the one that way will go say, hey, this problem, ideo. But I think because me one no go with fetan, I really need the tools, the people that will really go with fet this based on laws, based on the constitution, where we say the constitution, not if for help we, because Triple I feel say we need a whole lecture on all the different sections that as they talk about the constitution. So we ask, so the one that way they in the law, we ask for them kind of lectures then on and off. So we really take them piece by piece. So we understand really as then the quote them, so we not become lost in transition. So as the problem is a systemic problem, me feel say we need a systemic treatment. And that systemic treatment is, because think of it this way, if you get for go do, some form of surgery, when I just now a local anesthesia they need, then they give you, all the sedation what you need. Yeah. So this particular problem needs a general anesthesia for all will be able to fix the problem and for put under control. And because the problem is diving within that parliament, because now then they make the laws then they make them for a way that it will suit them. The way that will benefit the ordinary Sierra Leonean where they're on the street, their way day in, day out is like so difficult for them for like they even get them 3 square meals. But they try to cook up whatever. ACC, una not try. For me, una like a big disgrace right now. But if una feel say una don't do well, lost you don't watch. Sierra Leoneans them, trust me. Let's make sure that we fight back with this corruption, because we don't have the people to fight this, And as we see now the last time, the commissioner then get an award. Sometimes when you get an award, when you get some kind of acknowledgement, it will make you even want to do better, But in this particular light, he hasn't. He has not, and let's hold the ACC. They probably need to go back and really fix that problem there and telling we're going to do a prevention. It's too late for prevention. We need to do a curative intent in this particular light. So for me, I go left handed because the time has gone. There's so much when it comes to corruption, you just don't know where to stop. You don't know when to end it. But we really hope for the better for we country, because Salon too small. Follow the continue or the constantly the endure this type of, wickedness where they say, look the money where then they pour out to the parliamentarians them. Then yet you have people dying from medical problems because what? We don't even have the facilities. Neither do we have the resources to pour into that, yes, then they give people them one or two few individuals. Now they no more, now salon people them. Now they no more for benefit from the country money. We be saying other people then they work so hard, pay taxes for ensure say the country run. So, Mr. President and your entire cabinet, if you really want to fight corruption, I think you need to do it right. But as it is right now, I don't think you guys are doing it right. I think what you're doing, you're being greedy and selfish and not thinking about the people that elected you into office. That's what me get for tonight. And I hope say things change in Salon. Thank you very much.
So, also you see, okay, I think you don't summarize also you see them, because since be the talk say not also the people they look them as, but I think you don't summarize that anyway. Thank you very much.
The people that see, I mean, like, I'm just trying to...
Anti-corruption, then fight against corruption. Where the journalists and they tell them, say, oh, the people they not look glad with what they do. He say, make them not talk for the people them.
Did you get that? It's like quoting then they try for say.
So now they say, you pleased with them work?
No, I'm not pleased with them work, period.
Okay.
And I become so frustrated. When it comes to that, I think people can see different way of speaking is to tell you, I'm not pleased with anything they have done so far. You know, and the money we then say they don't get for make them build that diagnostic center. Why we have to wait 3 years down the road to actually put up a structure? Have we seen a foundation of one? I don't think so. So I really don't think that's happening. They're just talking now. Talk. There's nothing they are doing. And they talk about talk and do. Do first and then you talk. That's it.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Make we come with Usman Toli. Make we hear what's in your take on this one. Yes, Usman Toli, welcome on board, sir. You get the platform.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A. I know say a lot of people in the wait for make contribution. I will just try for make this very short. And I will thank Usfred as well as Dr. Aissatou for the fantastic contribution they make today. And this investigation by the ACC on the issue of allegation and counter allegations between Tawa and Paran, an investigation where we know they wait for very long time. We don't ask at this forum. What in the go on with the investigation between Tawa and Paran, where they make allegations and counter allegations? Now, for help with this, we get a number of questions there. We, I believe, say to a very large extent, everybody with the listening here today, I think say that the answer to them questions here that they look forward to. One, you don't listen to the report, the conclusion where ACC make. You think say ACC is independent with all this where they rankle around. You think say the ACC is independent. You think say Parliament and parliamentarians then corrupt from Motiwari Tawanao, from the representative from the ACC, from all the previous submissions then. If you say Parliament and parliamentarians then corrupt. And the other question, you feel say the conclusion where the ACC come up with, say this particular case, constitute for let them prosecute. The threshold, reach the threshold for let them prosecute. You think say that conclusion where they come up with is justifiable? Ask yourself that question there. And then finally, the issue of Honorable Tawa Conte being a whistleblower, a suspect. Is he a whistleblower, a suspect, or is he both? If you try for look at these questions, then I think say it will arrive at some of the conclusions then I will come up with very shortly. For make this thing short, the issue of parliament, let's start with that. The issue of parliament and parliamentarians being corrupt. Not today we'll begin this discussion. Everybody knows say parliament and parliamentarians are corrupt. For example, CAL, the Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, make a survey. And they can quite clearly say Parliament is one of the most corrupt institutions in our country. For example, KKY was recently interviewed. It said Parliament, they aid and abet corruption. I don't know, they argue over all these issues. It is more than apparent. Survey don't prove them, KKY don't prove them, Givao, although he apologized, he prove and say Parliament corrupt, Tawa don't come, he don't talk and say Parliament corrupt. So there is no doubt that Parliament is indeed corrupt. We are so shocked, surprised for the fact that ACC come up with the conclusion that, first of all, let's talk about procurement contracts, those procurement rules. And this is one of the strongest arguments where I think, say, Tawa put forward. And I think I totally agree with them. In the issue of procurement, the ACC concludes, say, the processes and procedures for the acquisitions of goods and services were not fully followed. Simple as that. They not follow the process, they not follow the procedure. So in that respect, it simply means, say, something happened inside Parliament. These are some of the questions that we will talk about. And Tawa make reference, for example, the former head of procurement, they use this same quotation in terms of procurement, following the procurement and processes. This man was charged, prosecuted, for failing to follow the processes and procedures. Why now, when he come to Parliament, which is the most powerful institutions that the state, that they make the laws, that the country, that they represent that the country, that they perform oversight functions, most powerful institution where they make the laws of the country. They know they follow processes and procedures. They will not say, constitute the threshold for prosecute. Big question, big question. I repeat. Triple A, another point where I just want to make in terms of whistleblower and suspect. Whatever is whistleblower, that's somebody where they bring the attention in terms of what will happen in the interest of the public. I believe, say, Tawa is a whistleblower as well as a suspect. This matter is important. I believe, say, then self come almost to the same conclusion. But when you listen to Amara, Mr. Amara, it's like Tawa is a suspect, not a whistleblower. But in this case, now a whistleblower at the same time a suspect. Later became a suspect. Both. So it looked like this report from the ACC just echo what Paran in say in an interview. And I will refer now, because you see what we read here, we're going to refer to the interview with the interviewed. Paran say the 69 million those where they give the parliamentarians now the constituency development fund. Where they give them for go build offices or rent offices. And exactly that is what the ACC echo. That is exactly what the ACC echo. And then singular Tawa. here, which is, I think, I find a little bit problematic. Tawa, your argument is the fund where una give it, the 69 million they also una give it. You know, specifically state that the law not specifically say this money here na for go rent office or for go build office. Then just give you they say when I go develop una constituency. So in that respect, now me do. I go for go develop the constituency. I then receipt them. For sure say that money when I give me, I put them into good use for the development of the constituency. Because the law not tell me say I for go build office or rent office. Just like other parliamentarians then. Other parliamentarians then, but do the same thing. So why we for go single out? Why for go single out Tawa in this respect? I think this naive, very suspicion to a good number of the public say the tone where they use in their report is inappropriate. That in other words, then they discourage other people when will come out later on for can act as whistleblowers in order for stop them here for happen again in the first place. Now, you ask a serious question, Triple A, in terms of they get one strategy where they use what they call asset recovery, where you say most probably them for don't use the asset recovery. If they not prosecute self, then for don't use the asset recovery program, forget some of them money are back from the parliamentarians then. However, they will argue, say because they not constitute, say they meet the threshold for prosecute. So in this case, they say that they review with Parliament for try for ensure they put processes and procedures in place. Triple A is very, very disgraceful in terms of the Parliament because report after report don't come out clearly. See, Parliament is indeed corrupt and that there is witchcraft. Yeah? In the sense that, let me look at what happened with the teachers then, where even, then take the laws in their own hands for dealing with the teachers then. Yeah? Then deal with them straight away. Public disgrace. Now the country disgrace them. Where they not even get right for do that. Because the law say if I assume somebody innocent until the court put that person guilty. Yeah? Where they won't take the order, they not even go to the extent say, we need threshold, we need this, we need that. Take the laws in their own hands. When it comes to Parliament, this is why I agree with Tawa. When it comes to Parliament, they say they don't meet the threshold for prosecuting. Just for prosecute them. Just for prosecute them. They say they don't meet the threshold. Yeah? This is what Tawa made me. He said the ACC, they afraid Parliament. And I agree. They're not afraid the teachers them all for deal with them, are the ones who deal with them. We know how many people they don't deal with. Deal with them. Yeah? They don't deal with so many other people. Yeah? But when it comes to Parliament, they say, reach the threshold for prosecute. It's disgraceful. Very, very disgraceful. Because the teachers then are poor people then. They are regarded as people that were poor according to them. But when you come to Parliament, they therefore tender the policies then, they therefore do the approvals then. So it's very difficult. And I think the other area again where Tawa quote them, say, not necessarily mean say if I prosecute the whole of Parliament. There are certain people that they act whether for them prosecute, not necessarily all of them. So these are some of the instances then where we talk about in terms of corruption, it will be a very difficult fight. A very difficult fight. And for conclude, over those questions were asked in terms of independence of the ACC. There is no independent institution at our country today. This is why, from time immemorial, not only this government, there is no independent institution in our country. As long as the president continue to make their appointment here, now they appoint the ACC commissioner, now they appoint the chief justice, now they appoint the PPRC chairman, then NEC, all their appointment indeed. It is not the aid of the president. It will be very, judges alike, it will be very difficult to get an independent institution in our country. Certain institutions, then, they are meant to be independent. But we don't get any independent institution in our country. Yeah? And I also asked the question, is Parliament corrupt? Clearly, I don't really know the evidence. Yeah, survey after survey shows say Parliament is corrupt. And this is another clear case for saying Parliament corrupt. With all the evidence we present, with all the allegations and counter-allegations, with all members of Parliament coming out clearly, boldly, say Parliament corrupt. Yeah? ACC not get the threshold to prosecute. I make us say it's shameful. In terms of the conclusion of ACC, where they make, I don't mean my instances. That is also apparent. Yeah? It's shameful. It's shameful because if you compare to other previous convictions, prosecutions, then, yeah, where disgrace teachers, you talk about other cases, then, that's again another cause for concern. So I will stop here. I'd like the chance to call us then, let them make their own contribution. Thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody who is listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, caller, you did live on air. Your name and who call from, please?
It's not Nancy. Call from US. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, Nancy, get up to 3 minutes, ma. But ACC and the fight against corruption, how you see them right now?
I think say ACC, they really, they don't really like they don't muddy the water. It easy for see through that. It really easy. The way how the man will be talk safe, say he's lying. Say they tell the truth. Say they cover something, and the fact that one of them come out and tell you say now this night they go on inside my house, and I know I for be part of it. I want make you help for clean out this house, for the interest of everybody. Now the country, and then the next thing they do, then turn around, try for go investigate them, just for discredit them. Now that's messy, because the man, he too smart first of all for them, and he get all evidence. He know for say this fight where they come, then go definitely fight back. So therefore, he prepare himself. Honorable Tawa, he prepare himself for this fight. So now he give them all evidence, all what he do, the money way then give him for go develop the highway in the lead. He give all receipt, he give all the evidence where he gets, and point out, he explain clearly. Even the layman within a village, they understand when Honorable Tawa they talk. So let them not feel to say we the people, we not get brain, na coconut say they get. We know what's in the go on. It's not like before, where people then they know able to reach them. But now this media day, so people then they see, if then not able to do their work, then this man come out. If me na Mr. President, this now one of the people that why the whole close. So this party, because now a very good asset and a very rare gem. We had to wait. We say we don't look for him for a very long time, and this man don't can surface. It show a huge amount of patriotism, a very patriotic, not care about who that you be, in just one put in country and people than before and try for tell you say, Lord, we fix this problem. But then people they had to try for smother this man because he don't disgrace them, he don't put them waste them at all. It's on the inside. It's like you get somebody in a house. They see everything. You know when they come, you know when they come, you know what they eat, you know what they do. And they tell you say, this me papa and so time they sleep. Then you deny say, not to say it. The man they deny the facts, even though the man you see how Mr. Tawa relax? He relaxed why they explain, they tell the they no say they tell the truth. You see how that man's become so restless? Even able for do anything, so he just they dance around. And every time they ask a question, they become frustrated. That tells you, even comfortable with them question, then they wouldn't ask him. In just one for pound on in comping. And then the lady mentioned about the people. Say, but the people them, which according to we own data, the people that then dissatisfied with what they do. What you get for say about that? He dismissed that the truth. It's like them, even care about the Sierra Leone people them, where they say the parliament's corrupt and the ACC, they do a good job. Even care about that. He just focus on bringing down Honorable Tawa. And I say this, Honorable Tawa, honorable man. And if anybody they out there, where they within any party, no matter whose party where you they inside this government, you see any corruption they happen. You see what they do to this man. Not afraid. Just make sure you be smart enough and get all the evidence where you need for get, whether not tape recording, receipt, everything you able to get them. So when you come out for say something, anybody try for discredit you, they're able to see road because when you turn under just like Honorable Tawa, when they turn under, he pull this by, he say, well, look at this. Even hide anything. So if them people there they try for do all them tears for discredit this man, we the Sierra Leone people the one they know say we they watch and we know what's in they go on. And Mr. President, if me now you, this now then kind people there if for draw closer, maybe for be a succession for tomorrow for our party, because it's very much good at what he in they do and he like in country and in people then and credible. So me now that's I get for say today. Then people they have shame on them. And while una no say we see una, and we see you, Mr. Honorable. We see you and we see what you they try for do, and we respect that very much with the Sierra Leone people there. Thank you so much for a good job, and we pray that anybody where they yonder, where they among una, where they think the same of what this man they do, they want to be part of him. Do you are not afraid? Because always the truth, I go prevail, and I go always win. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, I've been Ibrahim call from Ireland.
Yes, Ibrahim, you get up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, Triple, thank you very much. First of all, the ACC, to me, they don't lose their credibility. Get no independence fight when they fight against corruption. Now they don't serve as a defense counsel for this current administration. If the ACC, then they get mine for disgrace teachers them, popo teachers them publicly. They not say they not get threshold for disgrace them. They go put them a court in trade and disgrace them publicly. Then they go after other people and they not say they not reach the threshold for investigate them. We come to parliament now, then say the allegations where they raise, the threshold. What not the threshold before they investigate corruption matter? You get any idea? Well, this they clearly tell you say this current ACC, they only use the former president and new administration for sell themselves na the international community for me them go they get award because Ben Khalifa the award they don't win the Boku. We be start the corruption where they fight we feel say no more immune business because when they go after the opposition. But until we can out to the current administration now, we them put on there now, we see say things change. Everybody will come. Like with no money with our say, then people are in the failed parliament. The same similar program back be happened today back now. Wake up Sierra Leone AYV this morning where Sandy been there. Instead of where Thomas Dixon be the disgrace and back today, now the AYV day. They not able to defend themselves. They just they try for cover up. Look, this Amara where he disgrace himself. He go say he no able remember in name against self. He really sorry. Where Honorable Tawa, like say now the school and at the station, he very shameful. The problem where be say people, the majority of the people in that country, they're not honest to themselves. And at the blame by the civil society, where be say them for don't rally behind Honorable Tawa, for stand behind them. With the people of Sierra Leone, for don't stand behind Honorable Tawa, because we no one they see that kind of thing in that country dey. For let somebody in yon when they in governance, your partner in governance, he stand from where they start them. They don't intimidate and say up to this time. The man still is stand by in words, not like the other one who na then they call and coward give out where they swear the country, and that's why they get for go after to in generation. Because now for your selfish interest in the father, because they tell you say can't apologize because of the money where they get for that sitting and the chairmanship where you been get, now make it just can't camouflage no more. If you three people and then a house, then talk say corruption they happen at that house day. You who and call say can't help you can't say corruption they go on day. It makes sense? It don't make sense. APC they don't know the credibility. But all this now the constitution where they allow, they give the mandate for let the president select the ACC commissioner. If the ACC commissioner if don't get any clause in the constitution, we for don't make them voter in where be say that man they get a term of office where it be say for don't serve this current administration or after all them done, the other coming administration by the man they serve them back where you know go able fire them. But we will not get and I make all internet they happen. But in Kadifala in Mande, they don't lose credibility in that country. Day. Let God continue for bless Honorable Tawa. Let God give a long life. I wish if we don't get 5 off that parliament day. Thank you very much, people. May God bless you and God bless Mama Salon.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller ID live on air. You name and who the call from, please.
This is Janet Masamusa. I'm from the United Kingdom.
Yes, Janet. What do you get for you?
You know, people, today not the saddest day of all. You know, when you listen to Mr. Koego Amara who says on a law classroom, and you listen to Mr. Honorable Tawa Conte, you know, and then you at the backdrop of that, you listen to the journalism where they ask this man question. You know, for me, we can make us sad more. Make we look at all the issues them, but we think sad. We make it become very sad that the whole idea that Honorable Tawa, it was a very subtle comment we make. He say, you know what, in the well of Parliament, I mean, this is on at the middle or somewhere. They don't push me to the back. That tells us there's victimization going on. And that is not really good for your mental state as well. You know, Parliament, who said in the make law, the place who say we all abopam, with protection, but there's somebody in there who is not being protected. You know, so that really make my skin crawl for me. But the other thing again, what one bring you know, I a few commentators that talk about this threshold. You know, when you know what I've been expect Mr. Amara for do was to break that wall down and talk about just put and simply say we not get enough evidence for care this man go court, or we not get enough evidence for care people and go court. But then again, we look at the evidence with the madongi, the ordinary person where they outside, where they don't understand nothing but the standard of the standard of evidence we require, you know, for care person go court. When you hear about 208 million leons say being used for something where they not do, which that is misappropriation itself, which is an offense, you know. So I don't know who's threshold where they refer to, who's kind or the quality of the evidence where they refer to, who's standard where they refer to, where for say if we reach that particular standard day before we can go court. So for me, you know, the whole thing is this is Parliament we're talking about. This is our legislature. This is our lawmaking body. You know. But then don't say they can big corruption like this. No, what are you talking about? This is systemic failure. And you know, AAA, when you talk about systematic failure, you know, we go say systematic failure. And the situation like are being made. You know what I mean? But these are not mistakes. These are hardcore thieving going on in a place we shall forget respect. It's a sad day for Sierra Leone. It's a sad day for me for Honorable Tawa. He's been isolated, you know. But then again, like he said, I like his spirit. And then that spirit that where every Sierra Leonean forget. Let we stand with Honorable Tawa and fight corruption from within the country and within the legislature. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Janet. Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who side the call from, please.
My name is Matilda Cole. I call from Ottawa, Canada.
What do you get for women?
Okay, so basically, here's the thing. I once recall 2 years to the election, the Renaissance movement, or the leader of the Renaissance movement, we happen to be with current ECC head, stating that, you know, leadership in government is a social contract. And when people fail to deliver, you must hold them to account. And you should take no prisoners on hold. And here is a man who's been given a very strategic and opportune position to prove those words to the Sierra Leonean people. And time without number, he's failed to do so. You see, Tawa Conte in an interview last week said something very poignant. He said the wall of parliament is a castle that is being built that is not easily broken. He followed that up with an immediate statement where he said, when the giver of the meat gives, the receiver collects and stays silent. The giver of the meat gave in the situation of Honorable Givao, and we see what happened. The giver of the meat gave in the situation of Tawa Conte, and we see what happened. One decided to bite into the meat and chew and swallow, and other decided to refuse the meat. When the meat was choked down their throat, they vomited it out, spit it out, because nation must always come first. It really, really upsetting for Cisse. The man in an interview say, before as a member of parliament, I've been the sit-down at the front. When all of this, I begin unearth all of this, then push me from the front, then put me in the middle. And then one day I come, then don't pull me from the middle, then don't put me in the back. Because by putting me at the back, they are systematically discriminating against me so that I not get the attention of the speaker for make a talk. So there is a tactics going on for silence him, not only silence, but for only bully him. The disappointing thing as well in all of this is that you are a representative of the ACC, and you cannot even articulate the position of your institution. You fumble at every point, and you are being schooled and lectured by a parliamentarian who is able to produce all substantial evidence and would say, okay, if you want to judge me based on this, or you want to judge this case based on this, how come a similar case with identical issue was presented to you, you charged that person there, but yet in this case, you say it not reach threshold. What threshold are we talking about? You see, this is the situation where we get everything fumble up, where one person be the defense, the plaintiff, the judge, the juror, all at the same time. We are definitely living in a sad state of affair. where a single institution that so many people put their hope on at this junction in the history, where for don't use this opportunity for close the gaps, close the loopholes then. They can't tell we about procedures. We already know that Sierra Leone as a whole, the institutions within Sierra Leone as a whole get procedural issue. But this specific case wasn't about procedure. It was about a blatant disregard of the rules and doing business as usual. The man show evidence of waiting the money we then give them for, waiting is supposed to be used for. He show receipts to the fact. But as usual, the Anti-Corruption Commission would always come about, following our investigation, it wasn't the fact that this wasn't done, it was the method applied. So yes, while the method used wasn't right, however, the outcome was meant for what it was meant. Always they koto English them pan people. Like for say, English and people are not sabi. But to stand and do the right thing, principled according to law, then they fail. And this is a big slap to the people of Sierra Leone for making a glaring evidence like this. You turn around and you masam, wataram, and think, the people are going to be fooled. It's about time they stop this notion and mentality, say they can fool we.
Thank you very much, Matilda. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
Yeah, this is not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, you go up to 3 minutes, sir.
I just want to thank all the callers and all the people that will contribute. But we don't tell you this over and over. Una not listen. Anti-corruption is fake. Okay? Una listen to me today. Anti-corruption is fake. It's completely fake. Okay? They only go after the people that wanna they dance to the tune. That's it. The teacher there or maybe the opposition party there wouldn't really dance to the tune. But they're all fake. Parliament, the people that they're all fake. Yeah, where the APC there? Where the NGC there? Why they not they come behind Tawa and support her? Now they're all dependent. They're all fake. This is complete fake. Okay, everywhere, and just they defend the corruption where they go on at this administration. That's also thief business, anti-corruption back. I hope the next administration will come back and go all anti-corruption because they're all fake, man. They're fake corruption in effect. They see so the country they go bad. Man, people, man. When I don't believe it again, man. Yeah, me the big one. Anti-corruption is fake. My own contribution. All
right, thank you very much, Mike. Yeah. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, Tripoli. This is Thomas. I come from Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, Thomas, you get up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah. You see, like way Mike just the talk just now. I probably not for me don't call again, but this government so fake in kind, you have to see. Like it's just so disheartening. The kind way them people they treat with people back home. I get a close friend of me, where this papa I be head teacher. You don't teach all in life, that's alone. This Anti-Corruption Commission, then Qatar, then go off of a report, say the power acts, picking them for collect money for MPSC business, we then call, take that power, charge her, na court. Go na court, then end up for say, if you pay 30 million or you go 5 years in jail. Way I talk to you, so he directly connected to me because even get involved for try for solving that situation, you already talk to issue. Then take that part in 30 million in hand for 5,000, 1,000, or we then call where they allegedly say the party acts MPSC picking them. And then they talk about billions of leons. They talk about what they call them. You say which threshold? What kind of hypocrisy this? They talk say they give money for 2018, for 2019 for do oversight. They say they don't do the oversight. Where the money? You say you don't reach the threshold. Like, come on, man. This is so sad. So like all this magic we then come with commission of inquiry and this and that now. So now we the one that we then be the talk say now which ones now then the one prove right. Or now we will be the support and say let's go ahead and get the country money back again. They want disgrace. Like seriously. This is just sad, people. That are just I just my own contribution. I just want to like to her. They go after teacher then, popo teacher then, take the money in their hand. Then where you can't do then you investigation, you talk about threshold. It's just ridiculous. Like seriously. Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, I did live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
This is Francis. I had a call from a while. How are you, pa?
Good. You go up to 3 minutes, sir.
Clever man. AAA. Now maybe they already tell you say that check could be Gefala. You go to appear the president and they snap and make a fake check. I always will tell you this. All the time we go there, they bring about corruption business. I already tell you about this. Now fake check. Now lie in the lie. Then they get the money and the money they lost at the country. You bank over and say money not in the country. When get the money, when I keep and say we want a lie. Now fake check. You see them there? I already tell you say that country today we don't need money, man. We don't need soil mostly educated 100% for rule that country. You know, we need kind people like Tawale who will get passion for that country today. Then guy there, not just a game. We will know the day because Tawa no one belong. And they call the issue they come up. If Tawa for don't belong, you know, there is nothing but it's there. Now then kind people that want. Now then kind people that want that country today. You know, let's go there for the people. You know? But in California, I still remember the guy election me contract law, I know. Then guy they may go form that Renaissance movement. Young guys and come together, see the farm, Renaissance business, you know, as they were educated, they never get job, they never formulated in the area. I still remember. I'll be the same man that one day will be the past government. Let people they will wear black, and then demonstrate because the government was transparent, no nothing. Now today, you know, can be mantle of them kind of situation today. What did the guy they do? He not get money. He was a bomber. He not get nothing. He not get any kind of situation today. And the defense is government all kind of way. You know, say if you mess up tomorrow, no, they sleep there. That's really wrong. You know, I already tell you, say that country day, the appointment of the anti-commissioner, the appointment of the ONS, Office of National Security, the appointment of the Chief Justice, then people made them make the parliamentarian and they vote. No matter of approve. Made them form a committee in the parliament. They at the same time, if God will make that clause, at any time we get a sober president, that clause, whether you do that clause, say any parliamentarian will go against the party in the parliament. Therefore, we do a membership. That clause say, that clause is very bad off. That clause say, therefore change another constitution. That will solve regular law. If you want to become an anti-corruption boss, let them put the criteria. Go up the country, campaign, they vote for you. Then give time. I think that could solve problems small. But as long as you continue to appoint them people by the president, it don't wake up the money. He speaks the excellent. Today, when you can avoid your disease, he speaks the excellent. Tomorrow, you are no more. My brother. Now, fake. Now, just a game, yeah? Then what did they do? Thank you, pa.
Thank you very much, Francis. Yeah. Anti-corruption. Now, that you're waiting the people say. On we own small one way we do now. And like I said, I don't think say una for left and so. We still want for hear you from una, but it look like if I say it's the end. It's the end. But I don't think say it's also unpopular in Sierra Leone because of the way and manner. And if you've been watch fine, just before the weekend, and I end them do this one. Because in Sierra Leone, you know, say we were letting die quick, just do one before the weekend. So That's the weekend kind and talk about time. He die by the time Monday they come. Fresh thing to happen then. On to the next one. But however, we don't get gun small, not so. Don't count at it today. And even today, on Tuesday, on AYV, and then do I've pity Patrick Sandy because he was there yesterday. If he did it back today, just they try for defend this different. Anyway, the people are not happy. Even though when I say those people are not happy, the people are not happy for the outcome. We're not saying for charge people them that are innocent. But you self don't talk about now they say na systematic failure and now the same system now they cause the corruption. The same system where they cause the corruption, now they try for stop. They ask and say how you could go the line. He say as far as in concern now, this one they how the ACC handle and they not draw line to no corruption. Parliament they smile. Parliament think, oh, we tell una thank you for it una don't say yes, we go continue for work with una. And they're happy? Of course. Is anybody indicted? No. Is anybody asked to bring back the people's money? No. But instead, anti-corruption and the defendants say yes. They not use them for that thing, but then use them back for do all that thing na the constituency. But this is the same thing where they don't charge other people them for. You got that point. Unable to you don't see the back down. And if we think, say, we get people in a parliament, we go stand up alongside Honorable Tawa. The last we talk on our way, say, in try forget all the young one them, make them can let themselves get their own click. But because of the political party, they afraid. I not agree. And if we so get people in a parliament to go join Honorable Tawa, good luck with that. This they only you know. They don't push and can na the domot. Somebody not say, well, you know it, they join you, look and sit down with you. Before that, then go they pass and back say, but this is a small thing no more. As in particular, and so for job bat and come on, I don't a quick one. Until one make like a for say, na in one green. Forget say parliament na castle. Anti-corruption. I get beaucoup for prove. I get beaucoup for prove. Because this one, it not given a good name at all. Not given a good name. Waiting do for number 2, make you do for number 3. But as it is, it's different. We'll get back tomorrow with an interesting topic, trust me. So we'll meet again. Triple SA. Ta-ta.